whole years. You know, that's a very long time in tech. Long enough for most tablets to be forgotten because, you know, tech evolves at such a rapid pace in general. Now, this here is the Samsung Galaxy Tab S9 Plus, and after about 24 months of living on my desktop, in my backpack, on the kitchen counter, and even in the bathroom in a case or two, is this tablet still worth it? Is it still one of the best Android tablet options you have today? Especially for those of you looking for value, right? If you remember, that beautiful 12.4-inch AMOLED display was just mind-boggling when we first came out. The Snapdragon 8 Gen 2 chip was a beast, but what about today? Is it relevant today? With those questions asked, the first thing I'm going to say though is that this tablet today seems to have aged better than most smartphones in half the time. When I decided to make this video, I was actually shocked to realize that this tablet has been out for 2 years. And as you know, time reveals everything, you know, from performance to software aging, camera quality, and whether the then gorgeous display can still wow us today, or if it's just, you know, one of those things that drains the battery faster than it should. And today we are talking about all of that. Let's go ahead and jump in. First, let's go ahead and talk about the design, right? The design of the Galaxy Tab S9 Plus here is extremely relevant. So relevant that the current Galaxy Tab S10, which is the successor to this guy, the Tab S10 here looks no different in terms of design, besides of course that color, right? It is essentially the same tablet. So when we talk design, it is a timeless design. It's a timeless look. It's a sleek look, thin, beautiful tablet, very dense when you hold it. It's not heavy, you know, paradoxically, but it's dense, right? It feels dense. It feels premium. It feels extremely premium. You have your 2 cameras there that allow for more flexibility with the wide and the ultra wide lens, but we'll talk about that in a moment. You do have your power button, volume rocker. This one doesn't have the fingerprint scanner embedded in the power button. It is actually an optical fingerprint scanner. You have your quad speaker setup. These speakers are fantastic. Sound quality, very crisp, you know, tuned by AKG, very good sound quality. And of course, because you have a quad setup speaker here, it's been so nice to use this tablet because you can hold it like this. Even if you cover up the bottom 2 speakers, you still have audio coming out of the top ones, and you still get immersed in, you know, whatever entertainment thing you got going on the tablet here. So as far as design goes, timeless. I personally like it. I know this can be subjective to a certain extent, but it's a beautiful design. And I like that, you know, Samsung kept it going. Although I'll be interested, or I'll be, you know, I'm curious to see what they are going to come up with the Tab S11. Now let's go ahead and move on to display. What you have here, even though I'm holding it with one hand, it's a pretty large display. It's pretty wide, 12.4 inches. That would be the size that you have here. So very large display here, fantastic for enjoying entertainment, especially watching movies, you know, on that super AMOLED display here. The resolution here is 1750, I'm going to say 1750 by 2800, so very sharp image quality, inky blacks, inky reds, as I mentioned, beautiful display here, dynamic AMOLED. Did I say super earlier? I meant to say a dynamic AMOLED display here. The technology here is top notch. Samsung is known for making some of the best displays out there, and they did it no different here with the Tab S9 here. So in terms of value, you already get a super high-end display on this tablet here. It's a high quality display here with high refresh rate, of course, up to 120 hertz refresh rate, right? So things are super smooth. It also supports HDR10 plus and so forth. Beautiful display. I don't really have much to say here, except in the past 2 years, in my experience, it has been fantastic. Very, very good display for watching movies, especially in the dark. Pretty good stuff. And by the way, if this is your first time visiting, welcome to the channel, of course. Please do me a favor, hit both the like and the subscribe button there. I truly appreciate your support. Now let's go ahead and move on to performance, right? That's going to be kind of the meat of this video, because when you click on a video that talks about a tablet that dropped a year or 2 years ago, so kind of a long-term review of a tablet like this one, that's what you want to hear about. You want to know how it performs, right? If it's still good to go. Well, I'm happy to say that after 2 years, the Snapdragon 8 Gen 2 that you have loaded here, which is still a pretty relevant chipset for a flagship device, that chip is still going strong, right? It is very powerful. Editing videos here, even after 2 years, still doing great. Zero lag. It could be that, that's just the way I maintain my tablets. I maintain them pretty well, but I have zero lag here. It still plows through, heavy tasks, light, moderate, it doesn't matter. Gaming, it is still a flagship tablet, right? Because it's a flagship tablet, you can always, download all of your heavy games. You could do heavy gaming here with no issues, right? And you can crank up the settings all the way to the highest and still be able to enjoy that here. So it is still a flagship tablet. When it comes down to value, if you were looking to buy something that has a flagship chipset and you're trying to maximize on value, the Tab S9 Plus here is definitely something you should have on your list. So performance, top notch. Software, of course, this is eligible for up to 5 years of major upgrades, or major updates, I should say, right? So it is going to be relevant in the, future years to come. One of the things that a lot of people don't know about longevity and how robust a tablet can be is that these manufacturers, when they make premium tablets like this one, the premium material that they use to build these tablets are going to make them last long, way beyond when they're supposed to be supported, right? What I'm trying to say here is that for a Tab S9 Plus here, if it's to be supported for 5 years, it is as long as you take good care of it, right? You maintain it well, it is going to go well over that 5 years or 7 years mark, whatever the case may be. But if by contrast, you take a tablet like the Galaxy Tab S10 FE, for example, it is set to be supported for 7 years. They didn't use the same premium material they used to build this guy to build the S9 FE. It's gonna last, and it's also gonna be subjective to the way you use your tablet, but beyond that 7 years, questionable, right? Simply because the premium material lasts longer and it's gonna age slower compared to the mid-range or the cheaper tablet. I just figured I'd just go ahead and toss that there. But anyway, so software, it's still supported. There's really no difference between this and the S10 Plus here. When it comes down to software, user experience, you get the exact same user experience on the S9 Plus here than you would on the S10 Plus, except for some very negligible variations between, AI on the S10 Plus versus AI on the S9 Plus here. So that's just something to keep in mind. And of course, we do have a Samsung S Pen here that goes with this tablet here. It takes your productivity to the next level. It is still my all-time favorite native stylus on the tablet, right? Let's go ahead and move on to battery. That's the other thing that people like to hear about when it comes down to long-term reviews. The battery here has definitely taken a little bit of a hit, but I'm really just saying a little bit of a hit because remember, it's a gigantic battery, 10,090 milliamp. That's what it is, right? And that's also what you have on the S10 Plus here. 10,090 milliamp, it's gone down just a tiny bit. It still lasts the entire day. Even though I'm a power user, I'm still able to use this the entire day and then plug in on the charger and still be good to go. So after 2 years of using your Tab S9 Plus, you should expect the battery to have taken a little bit of a hit, but nothing to the extent where it's concerning, right? It's just that regular, wear of the battery. So that's kind of expected. It still does fast charging here at up to 45 watt, which is something that I like, especially on tablets, right? Something this large, you want it to charge as fast as possible. Let's go ahead and move on to camera here. What you have with that main camera module is a 13 megapixel wide and 8 megapixel ultra wide. So you have a little bit of flexibility when it comes down to taking pictures, videos, and scanning documents and things like that. In general, I don't linger too much on cameras on tablets because a lot of people, the vast majority of people don't buy tablets because of the camera capabilities, right? Generally, the camera on your phone, if your phone is at least from the past couple to a few years, you probably have a banging camera on there, something that is much better than this. But as far as the cameras on the rear go, They work very well. Like I said, you can make videos, you can take pictures with them, and you can scan documents, which is one of the most important things. Now, when it comes to that front-facing camera, you have a 12 megapixel camera. It's an ultra wide, and it has a feature that automatically adjusts to make sure that, you know, it keeps you in the frame, meaning if you are video calling someone and you have more people, you know, in the room, and you want the person to see all of, you know, people, the other people joining the call, what the camera would do is it would automatically adjust to make sure that everyone, and if you move, the camera would track to make sure that you stay within frame. So pretty cool camera on the front there, still works pretty well. Now, we're not going to do a full-blown review of this tablet here, simply because I've made a number of videos on the Galaxy Tab S9 Plus specifically here. So if you are looking for something a bit more comprehensive, you can watch one of those videos. In this video, I just wanted to share what my experience has been like using this for the past 2 years, which, to recap here, in terms of performance, it's still a very, you know, well-performing device here. It performs at the high level because it's Snapdragon 8 Gen 2 here. That's the chipset that is here, and it is still a very relevant chipset. It powers through things. It's good for gaming, video editing, photo editing, you know, plowing major projects. You can always do that using Samsung DeX to push out video signal to work on an external monitor. You can do all of that. I've done that here and I've tested it here, and it's been very, very good. It's been excellent at handling all of those things. And one of the things that this tablet is known for is just media consumption. Watching movies here, it's next level. As I mentioned, it has a dynamic AMOLED display here. Beautiful display. Very well built tablet, very robust. IP68, by the way. So if you were to drop this, like I did, you know, to test out, if you were to drop this in a pool of water, it would survive. But anyways, if you were in the market for this and you are looking for something that offers value, surprisingly, I would even say that if you're in the market for either one of these two, consider the Tab S9 Plus more, right? Because it offers a lot more value. Now, you do have an upgraded chipset here along with, you know, the anti-glare coating on the display there, but really do your research and see whether you need the extra or whether you should just go for this. In terms of value, the Tab S9 Plus here offers a ton of value, and I still highly recommend this tablet here. And of course, the links that I'm going to have in the description, one should take you to, you know, some of the best deals that you can find on the Galaxy Tab S9, and the other link should take you to some of the best deals you can find on the Tab S10 Plus here. Anyways, let me know what any questions you may have. I'm certainly hoping that this was informative. Let me know what your questions in the comment section, where I'm going to catch you, so we can get that back and forth going. Don't forget to like, of course, subscribe if you haven't done so already. Make sure to share this video with anyone who would be interested. I'm going to catch you in the comment section, like I said already. I'm also going to catch you in the next video. Up until that next video, of course, as always, stay safe out there.